Wow. It's weird because I normally play pubs whenever I do anything related to save the world if I'm not trying to solo it and do missions on my own. I think I've gotten some criticism about that because I played with somebody earlier or a while ago, maybe like 2 to 3 days, maybe a week from, I don't remember when I played with him, but he was really good at the game, and I told him that I mainly got to where I am from just playing pubs, but as you can clearly see from the stuff that's in front of you, if you're even halfway of a decent player, this is gonna make you really upset. And it's funny because I don't think I'm supposed to be the person that should tell you or that should teach you how to build, because there's so much on the internet already. There's just so many tutorials on the internet that teach you how to build that is actually ridiculous. Like, it's so funny that I think even the game teaches you how to build with broadsides. As a matter of fact, I can literally probably pull up the game right now, and then it would literally, I think it would honestly tell you how you're supposed to place them, because there's no way that you would think that this is correct. But then again, you're probably a player that doesn't know any better. But to that, I'd say, how do you not know any better when I was doing it right in Stonewood? And I wasn't even watching tutorials or how to build inside where I wasn't doing that. There was some stuff I was doing wrong, and then eventually I learned what I want to build with and how I want to build it. But it's still correct compared to what y'all do when y'all just build stuff and just place stuff anywhere. I'm like, there's better traps for what you're doing. Like, I think it's just the fact that people think that broadsides are so OP, and then when in actuality, when they get to like the 130s and the 140s and the 160s, they end up getting dropped off because they're thinking that broadsides are actually good, when in all honesty, there are traps that can literally do what broadsides do, but better. So let's pull up the schematics real quick, right? So let's go to our traps. Let's go to our traps. If you go to broadsides and you look at, oh, I guess it doesn't tell you how, but it kind of gives you an idea. It fires a sequence of 5 bouncing cannonballs that pierce through enemies. If they're bouncing, why would you want it to just shoot off into nothing? You would get more value if you would allow it to bounce. It doesn't tell you explicitly, but it kind of gives you an idea of how you're supposed to use these traps. But I'm not gonna lie, I think y'all can see from the pictures and the video that I played probably at the beginning or right now. I'm not sure how I'm gonna edit this, but as you can see from the pictures in the video, that the trap placements are not correct. And I don't think I'm that person that's supposed to teach you how to trap, but to give you an idea, broadsides are supposed to be facing each other, like one wall on the left and then one wall on the right, and the broadsides are facing each other. That way they can shoot at each other and bounce off of both walls so that you can maximize the damage that you get. It's a simple concept, I'm not gonna lie. It's just you have to read and you have to think about it. And I'm not gonna lie, when I play Save the World, I normally turn my brain off. I don't have to think too hard because it's just Save the World. You can honestly build however you want to build. And I'm gonna get into that towards the end of this video, but I at least want to explain it to you how you're supposed to build if you're gonna be using these traps. But that's how broadsides are supposed to, that's how they're supposed to be placed. I might even put a video explaining, like, so that you can visually see how you're supposed to place broadsides. And it's the same thing with tire traps and ceiling electric fields, because these are two of the best traps in the game as well. You want to place them correctly because you can maximize the damage or the knockback that you get from both of these traps if you place them correctly. Like, it should just be like, you should seek to want to do these things because they will help you reduce the amount of materials that you have to use. You could just tell from literally placing the trap once. Tire traps knock your opponents back in a different direction. If you just used it once and actually just just looked at it, you would be able to tell. But at the same time, it saved the world. They don't necessarily hold your hand, and they don't necessarily explain this stuff to you. So instead of clown you, I'd rather just tell you how it go. One thing about it is this community will do it to you so quick that it's honestly ridiculous. And in my case, where I'm at, I'm in a power level 84. Like this doesn't even matter. Regardless of whether you place the traps wrong or right, it's just because I'm in the lobby that no matter how you place those traps, we're gonna end up beating the mission anyway. And I'm not trying to say that to be like, oh, egotistical. Oh, look at him. He just think he's so good at the game. No, because the way I build is excessive and inefficient in some ways. But at the very least, I could teach people who are building way worse than me how they can place their traps, and so that they can learn from however they're doing it faster than when I did, because I played alone for most of the beginning of the game. And then it was only until I started actually reading the descriptions and watching videos on YT on how to build an SSD, I learned how most of these traps work. And I say that to say, in all honesty, unless you're in the 160s, you can, and this finna sound so bad, but realistically, you can play however you want to play. You can place traps however you want to place them. But I'm not finna sit here and say that the way that you place them is correct or efficient, because they're not. And I'm not finna sit here and lie to you and say that I had placed them right from the very beginning. No, I was bad at the game too. You know what I'm saying? I was trash at placing traps too. That's why I'm trying to help you. That's why I'm trying to help you place your traps correctly, so that you don't have to go into a public lobby and arguably have good players on your team, and then they're gonna end up screenshotting it like I did, and then they're gonna end up sending it to people who are actually good at the game, and they're gonna end up laughing at you. You know the funniest thing though is that when I screenshotted these, I wasn't even laughing. I was just like, wow, like, why are y'all placing it like this? This is terrible. You guys are in Canny Valley. I mean, not Canny Valley, but Twine Peaks. You're in Twine Peaks. I don't know what power level they were. I was so upset. I was so appalled by the trash that I saw on my screen. I just had to leave the game. I couldn't even check their power levels. I don't know. But besides all that, like I said, you can honestly place these traps however you want to place them. They're your materials, so do with them what you will. And to my people who are gonna be upset for people building incorrectly, don't break their stuff. Just let it sit there. And in all honesty, it'd be better for you to just teach them how to use it instead of insulting them about how to use traps when it's not your materials. Albeit it can be a little annoying if their builds are in the way of your builds and your builds are placed efficiently, but because theirs is placed so poorly that it could prevent you from being able to complete the mission, because some of your traps are covered up and you won't be able to stop the monsters that you need to stop because somebody put broadsides in front of your dart traps, so now your dart traps ain't hitting nothing. Or somebody placed wall launchers in front of your well-placed wall launcher, and now the husk can't even get in there to get thrown out of they can't even get thrown out of the trap tunnel because somebody done messed it up. I can understand, but you got to be more calm with them, because they're placing it like that because they don't know. So I encourage you to be more open with your criticism, or be more calm with your criticism, and rather than make it as criticism, make it as a critique, or make it at, well, I guess that's the same word, but try and make it as simple as you can for them so that they can understand it, and then in the next mission they might pass it along to somebody else who might not know, and then eventually people are gonna know what to do and how to place these traps, instead of just insulting them or screenshotting it and then sending it to somebody like I did. But at the very least, I'm making this video. I don't know, maybe it might help somebody. I don't know. I think I kind of figured out how I want to edit this video though. Like I might just have traps that are difficult for people to learn or wrap their head around, I might just go into a SSD and then just record myself placing these traps the right way. You know, I might just do that and have like text in the video explaining it, but that might be too much. Like, you can see text, you're supposed to be reading while you're also listening to me talk. That might be too much. Cause I know it'd be too much for me. Like, I'd be wanting to focus on one thing at one time. I don't know. I guess that's just me. I don't know. Is it my attention span, or is it I can't tell you. The point of this video is to explain some of the most tedious traps to place and how to place them, and for both beginning players and veteran players. Like, y'all gotta be on point with how you criticize for my veteran players and how you place your traps for my newbie players. And don't be discouraged for my newbie players. Don't be discouraged when somebody's trying to tell you how to play something, or somebody's trying to tell you how to build. Because one thing about it is, at the end of the day, the both of y'all have to beat the mission. So just swallow up your pride and receive criticism. That way you can be better at the game. Don't be soft. Don't be soft. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I actually have nothing else to say. This video came out of nowhere, I'm not gonna lie. I was just doing my missions casually, and then I just was like, man, I really might have to speak on it, John, bro. I really might have to speak on it, John, man. God dang.